What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here, once again attached at the left pinky toe this time with
Gersh1.
We're back at it, answering questions that you guys like to call for the greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. And the reason he said that you guys like to call it is because you guys actually named this series way back in the day of One Mind Syndicate, back when we were
Hero Clicks, Pokemon.
Yeah. We started this off as like, hey, we're going to answer some questions of 40K lore because we're really into 40K lore. What should we call it? I was playing Orcs, he was playing Tau, and then we called it the Greater WAAAGH. Or you guys called it the Greater WAAAGH. But if you guys have a question for us, like always, hit us up with a super thanks, and your answer is going to be in the next episode.
Guaranteed. Not just that, but if you guys also want to support us, we have Audible. There is a link down in the description that you guys can check out to check out books or podcasts or Audible originals. As always, we recommend the Horus Heresy as well as the Eisenhorn series. But if you guys have other recommendations that you have found on Audible, let them know down in the description or in the comments.
Yes. But let's get into the super thanks. This one comes from?
This question is by Faux Hugh. Huge fan of the channel. I've been following you guys since 2016, and you're the reason I got into 40K. Thank you. That's pretty crazy. It's really awesome to hear these kind of things. His question, finally getting into it, is, what's your most heretical theory about the 40K universe? I'm talking something that would get the Inquisition sent to your house in 15 minutes or less. So basically, you're trying to cancel us. And I think... So it's a theory that I was kind of bouncing around, and I know it's a theory that you guys have a lot to say about, and that is that the second Legion Primark is a female.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, so it's something that I've been pondering after reading the lore about Erda, the mother of Primarchs, the Perpetual, who basically got down with the Emperor and helped him create the Primarchs. So the way I see it is that Erda wanted the Primarchs to be not tools of war. Which is kind of weird because, like, if she agreed to make it, then obviously she should know what they were meant to be. But she kind of changed her mind, dabbled with some chaos stuff, time travel, Erebus, and whatnot. And she's the reason why they got flung across the universe. But I also think that she created the second Legion Primarch as almost like a fail-safe to kind of stop these events to become in motion through a Perpetual.
That's interesting.
Now, I could also say that since there is a female Primarch, there are female Space Marines, but through the lore, we know that Amar Astartes, the creator of the Space Marine, figured out that, no, the genomes, the XY chromosome for females, don't adhere to gene seed. So, yes, there cannot be female Space Marines in the lore at this time. Clearly, GW can also change it or work around it. I mean, look at Belisarius Cawl. He's been doing all these machinations to the Space Marine that at one point we thought was holy. Like, you cannot touch the Space Marine because the Emperor created it and it is, perfection. But he's been tinkering and created Primaris Marines. So who's to say there aren't female Space Marines out there?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I still would believe that female Space Marines aren't needed because we have so much other representation for females in 40K, such as the Eldar, the Tau, Guardsmen. Even in the Imperium, you have the Sisters of Silence and the Sisters of Battle, which you need to flesh them out more. We got a whole bunch of new information for the Sisters of Battle, which is great, but I still want more Sisters of Silence. I want them to do more named characters, more models, make them their own standalone codex without having to be shoehorned into the Custodes. So, but yeah, that's my thoughts at least.
Yeah, and like to shed a little bit of insight on the perspective of the people who don't want female Space Marines, like I get it, not just for the reasons of like, they're Sisters of Battle and Sisters of Silence need to be fleshed out a little bit more, but also because I think when I was younger, I looked at the aesthetic of Space Marines, specifically the Dreadnoughts, and I was like, I don't like this. Like, I don't like Dreadnoughts. Dreadnoughts look stupid. But GW or games or 40K has always been unapologetically 40K. It's very like, this is 40K kind of thing. So new elements have to mold to the grim darkness. So for the Tau Empire, for example, they had to like somehow work their way into the 40K universe and still have that aesthetic of like the grim darkness. Whereas like with female Space Marines, I feel like that would go away. Like if female Space Marines are introduced by GW, it kind of shows that 40K is not really like unapologetically 40K anymore. Now it's like trying to tailor towards a different audience now, like a more diverse audience and stuff like that. And that's not even true because, like, you know, the diversity comes with the Sisters of Battle, Sisters of Silence, and stuff like that. But yeah, like the conflict that I had with Dreadnoughts when I was younger, now I love Dreadnoughts, like both the old, like, Venerable and Contemptor one and also, like, the new ones. But it's like adopting, it's like the player needs to adopt this aesthetic. And I don't know.
And if you don't like it, just don't use it.
Right.
Easy as that. The way I see it, if they ever do decide to do female Space Marines, what's going to change? Nothing.
Yeah, right.
Just a Space Marine in power armor is going to look like a Space Marine in power armor, be it male or female.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be too goofy having boobed armor.
Yeah.
Why? Space Marine plate, they have the black carapace, they have the power armor. There's no need to give them, you know, all this stuff. The only way you'll know if an army of Space Marines is female or male is if they take the helmet off.
Right.
And even then, if you don't want that, keep the helmet on. You'll never know.
Yeah, you can do that too now, too. You can do head swaps.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
So.
But no, everybody has to be in a hubbub about it.
Right.
Everybody's got to be vocal. But let us know your thoughts down below. Be vocal.
Super
be
vocal.
heard. Thanks, Vohugh, for all the comments we're about to get.
Next question comes from Eric9. He asks, also a super thing, so thank you. Can little gods become big threats? Do any of the minor gods of the warp have the potential to ever threaten the big four? And would any Ed be on their level if her birthday hadn't been interrupted by the Death Watch?
Yeah, that's lore that I really hated. Because you kill Eldred Orthrin, one of the best Eldar around, and you also halt, or I guess not halt, but kind of speed up and mess up the birth of an Eldar god, which is going to be a huge thing. All because the Death Watch needed to get a revamp and they needed, you know, lore to fit. So yeah, it sucks. But can little gods become big threats? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, so big threats, yes. To the universe, the galaxy, yes. To the chaos gods, probably not. Just because, like, the story of Khorne comes to mind where he flicked that greater demon and the greater demon went flying through the warp. I think he could do that to Caleb and Chicane. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that Caleb and Chicane or like any other minor god isn't strong enough to create havoc and destruction. Segrad's doing it. So, yeah.
Yeah, remember, big things come in small packages.
There you go. Next super thanks.
Yeah, we have one more super thanks, and that is by
Adeptus
Argonomist?
Yes.
He says, love your content, guys. Do you guys think that the orcs could evolve back into the Kork while fighting the Tyranids in the Octaria sector? Basically, they are forced to evolve because it's the first time they're losing a meat grinder battle.
Where are they losing a meat grinder battle?
They're saying in the Octaria sector.
Oh.
I don't think they're losing. I think it's like a stalemate.
Yeah. When Gotsko arrived, or at least the lore that I remember, Gotsko arrived with his teleporters and his rocks. And that really pushed the Tyranids back, which is why the stalemate exists. I don't think that the Krork would ever come back. I don't think that, like, the Beast Arises was kind of an example of how, like, even that guy was small, or those guys, well, spoiler alert, multiple beasts, were smaller than the Krork. And I think the Krork were just an apex level of Odd Boy, is the best way that I can put it. And it's an apex level of Odd Boy that already exists within the 40K lore. Like, it's basically just a beefed up Blood Axe war boss. But yeah, it's probably not going to come out.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. If anything, they'll become like black orcs, which are bigger, tougher, stronger, meaner. And that'd be pretty cool to have like a playable black orc on the field.
Yeah.
Which are kind of like mega armor knobs, kind of.
They
do the same role.
Yeah. And those were the questions for today. We didn't get to any of the regular questions because the super thanks kind of took all of them. If you guys did not get to, or we didn't get to your question, just ask again. Again, super thanks get answered, guaranteed. Thank you so much for listening, guys, and we'll talk tomorrow.
That's right. As always, it's the Sound Alchemist.
Gershwin.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Always used to put my freedom first in any